Most adult guitar players can play a few chords and strum some patterns, but the second they try to make music, everything falls apart. I'm Jake with Guitar Gym Pro, and I've taught thousands of adults to play guitar over the last decade and a half, and 92% of them struggled with the exact same thing. They could play in time with themselves, but the moment they tried to play with a song, other musicians, or even a metronome, it all fell apart. Today, I'm going to show you 4 quick and easy exercises that will fix your timing once and for all. If at the end of this video you want more help with strumming, you can get my free 3-day strumming challenge. I'll leave a link down in the description. Here's the deal. You don't need better rhythm. You need better awareness of time. The real skill here isn't strumming technique. It's micro time awareness. That is feeling what happens between each beat. Right now, when you play with a metronome, each click probably feels like a tiny dot, just a point in time you're trying to hit. But rhythm isn't a dot, it's space, it's time. Think of that click like a star in the distance in the night sky. It looks small, but if you could zoom in, you would see it's massive. And that's what we're doing here, mentally zooming in until each beat feels big enough to live inside. Once you can feel that space, the metronome stops being these tiny dots you try to hit and becomes the sun your rhythm orbits around. We're going to train that awareness in the same order your body actually experiences music. First through your ears, then through your brain, then your hands, and finally with the guitar, because that's how you truly learn to feel music instead of just playing it. Now, before we bring this to the actual guitar, we need to slow things down and learn to actually feel each click of the metronome as it goes by. We'll set the metronome to 60 beats per minute or 60 clicks, so we'll have room to think and move. You can grab any free metronome app and it will work for this. Let's just listen for a few seconds. Don't count yet. Feel those clicks passing evenly, one after another. First, let's count the numbers out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want to bury the click underneath us saying those numbers. If the click and the number are perfectly lined up, we should barely hear the click, only feel it. Let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, we'll say and in between each number. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. These ands are extra spots between the main beats where we could strum or where we might strum. It helps us to start to feel the space between the beats, not just the beats themselves. Our goal is to put the and exactly between the numbers. We don't want to count 1 and 2 and 3 and which is long, short, or 1 and 2 and 3 and, which would be short, long. All right, let's go ahead and try it out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we need to talk about what a strum pattern actually is. A strum pattern is simply choosing certain parts of those 4 beats and ands to strum on and certain parts not to. For this lesson, our pattern will be beat 1, beat 3, then beat 4 and. We'll count out loud using only those beats first. 1, 3, 4 and. Staying quiet everywhere else. We'll hear the metronome clicking, but we're only speaking when the strums happen. The silence between what we say is just as important as the parts where we actually count. This is where the timing starts to come alive. Let's practice it together. 1, 3, 4 and 1, 3, 4 and. Before we bring this rhythm to the guitar, we want to be able to feel that rhythm through a simple motion, clapping. First, we're going to clap on every beat, 1, 2, 3, and 4, right along with the metronome. If we're right on, we'll bury the click again. We should barely hear the click under our claps, but we'll feel it, just like when we count out loud. Bonus tips, these exercises work faster when you continue to count out loud as you clap and as we start strumming soon. All right, let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, we'll add the ands. We'll clap the same way we counted earlier. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We want to keep the clapping smooth and even. Each clap should feel the same distance apart. Remember, these ands help us feel the space between the beats instead of only the beats themselves. Let's give it a try. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now let's clap our strum pattern. Beats 1, 3, 4 and. If you're having trouble nailing the clap for this strum pattern and your brain is wanting to clap in other places, you can intentionally open your hands in places where you're not supposed to clap to give your brain a different signal or command to send to your hands. Now let's try the exercise together with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and. All right, now we're getting to the fun part. We're actually bringing this to the guitar. We've heard the rhythm with our ears, understood it with our brains, practiced it with our hands. Now we're going to combine all of that and actually strum along with the metronome. Before we worry about chords or tone, we're just going to strum muted strings. You can do that by lightly resting your fretting hand against the strings so they don't ring out. This lets us focus completely on timing and feel, not on how the chords sound or if we're changing them fast enough or anything else. First, we'll strum down on every beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like when we counted and clapped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, we'll add the ands, and we'll strum up on the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This is our rule for strumming for now. Down on numbers, up on ands. Let's go ahead and try it out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we'll play our strum pattern. 1, 3, 4 and. Don't worry if it takes a few tries. If you miss one, keep going. We don't want to correct our mistakes. Just let the mistake go and get the next strum right. Also, our hand, down on numbers, up on ands, is ticking like a clock. We want to keep that motion going. We're just going to bring our pick to the strings and away from the strings when we want to hit them. All right, let's try it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and. As you stay relaxed, you'll notice the click blends into your playing. That's the sign that everything's starting to really lock in. Your ear, brains, hands, and now bringing it to the guitar. If this type of lesson is helpful for you and you want it applied to more strumming patterns, you can get my free 3-day strumming challenge. I've got a link that's going to be in the description for you. Now it's time to add chords. Now that we can stay in time while we're strumming muted strings, we're ready to add in chords. For this exercise, I'm going to move between a C and a G chord. I'll park my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and I'm going to mute the high E. From there, my middle finger is just going to move between 3rd fret on the A string for C and 3rd fret on the E string for G. I'll play the C chord once through our strum pattern, then switch to the G chord for one pattern, and I'll repeat it. You can do this with me with any version of C or G that you like, or even swap in a different pair of chords that you're working on. The goal is just to practice switching chords while playing the pattern and staying in time. If you hit a wrong note or your chord change isn't clean, don't stop. Let it go, find the next strum, and keep the rhythm moving. If you're ever really far off, pause, breathe, and start again on the next beat 1. If you can, it's a good idea to continue counting 1, 2, 3, 4 out loud with the metronome to reinforce that ear-brain-hand connection. Let's try it out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that you can stay in time and keep your strumming consistent, the next step is to make it feel and sound better. Check out this video where we'll go over strumming tone, how to hold the pick, and how to physically strum the strings. I know you'll get a lot out of it.